Before I start the story, I want to give the lesson. So, you probably heard about roaming, and if you haven't, then that's calling someone from one country to another. And roaming usually costs more money than calling a friend to another city or another state if you live in a country where there's states like India or USA. And but if someone calls you from, let's say, you live in Bangladesh and someone calls you from China, the one that calls you will pay more money, but you will not, because you receive the call, you don't give the call. And how to recognize if someone's calling you from another country? Well, that's in the beginning of the number. You see, for example, the beginning of the number in the Bulgarian phones is +359 or 08. One of those two variants. They're just the same thing. And there's also customer numbers, for those free calls for companies. If you want to tell them something like, hey, your product is this and this. And in Bulgaria, the client number starts with a 044. So you should learn what are the beginnings of the numbers in your country and remember them. And if you see a different beginning, then you should know that is roaming and it's someone from another country. So get ready to speak a foreign language probably. And now to the story. So you may have heard of the company Rich Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and there is a coaching program to which they call people, no matter where they live, they just call them. And there's those bonuses in their site of the company, like electronic books, like how to succeed in real estate and stuff. And I downloaded one of those electronic books, and with logging in to download the book, they told me that I'll receive a free introduction call for the coaching program. I already had a talk with them about it, and yes, they told me I'm not old enough to make it, so I thought that they won't phone me again, and I just logged in for the book. I didn't expect them to phone me again. So I was in the fitness, well, one of the fitnesses, yes, there's plenty of fitnesses in this town. And I was in the fitness where my dad is working. I was talking with some people in there, and suddenly someone calls me, and I didn't look at the beginning of the number, but what I saw was 14 at the end, and I thought, oh yeah, that's one of my friends. I remember that he had a 14 in the end. So I'm picking up the phone and I'm starting to talk to Bulgarian, something like Dobar den, or the typical cliched but not Bulgarian phrase alo. You've probably heard it if you watched German movies. And at some point I realize I'm talking to the nothing. I just stopped talking to listen, and there's someone saying, do you speak English? And I was like, oh yes. And I look at the phone and I see that there's 195, which is for a state in the USA. So I realized it's Rich Dad coaching again. It was very funny. I'm just speaking on prompt, and I expected it's a friend from the town. So then I forgot what I actually told him. I don't know if I told him like, are you in town? Do you want to go out? Or I don't know. I was just speaking, and then when I saw it's not him, I just got oops. And from the shock I forgot what I said. I only remember that I congratulated him, like good day, yeah, but in Bulgarian. So after that I spoke with him, and he said that he'll finally register to the data that I won't be working with them for another 3 years, yes, until I'm 18. So it was really funny. Remember, you should know that there's probably 1 or 2 variants for the beginning of the number in your country, and there's probably 1 beginning for the client numbers, like 044 in Bulgaria, for example. And when you see another one, you should know it's roaming. That's for me. Goodbye.